Hello everyone, this is Favorite Bob back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at the Transformers Wild King and Nightbird, Abyss Reign. So before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below which the video or would else like to see in a video. So to figure himself. Here we have Abyss Reign in his basic robot mode, and it looks pretty good. It looks just like any other basic robot mode from this line. But needless to say, that's not a bad thing. So let's take a quick look at the face sculpt. So focus, thank you. Honestly, it reminds me so much of Nightbird. Like, you get the silver for the faceplate, you get red for the eyes, kind of a little bit of blue right there. Obviously, it's not going to be a one-to-one Nightbird, but it just looks so much like Nightbird. Just like a Leafback and Swamp Thing almost from DC. Or some variation of Swamp Thing, I don't know. But yeah, looks really good. Get the nice kind of all-spark blue spotted throughout against this purple and kind of navy blue with a little bit of black. So yeah, not too bad. I'm not going to lie, I was not expecting as much purple as I was. I guess I didn't want to go with all blue, just like with Hydrofin. You know, you got your light blue, you got your dark blue with the silver. So I guess I wanted to go with something a little bit off script, but it's not too bad. So if you all know anything about Wild King, you know they come with a fair amount of accessories for their size. So for first thing, you get the dinosaur head, which looks really good. Get that red, and then the kind of all spark blue. Would have been nice to see these painted maybe a silver or black. Actually, would probably look good, or maybe a purple to tie it all together. But yeah. And then here we have the back of the Spinosaurus, not the Spinosaurus, Stegosaurus. I know my dinosaurs, I swear. I played Falsifighters. So, granted, in Falsifighters, the Stegosaurus was more of a green than, blue, but hey, it's a shiny version. Let's go with that. Next, we have the tail, which, is pretty much Leafback's tail, especially if you remove this section right here. I was wondering why Leafbacks came off right there because it had no need. This is why. So, there's that. And you get the nicely painted water energy thing, which is molded in that same purple. So, now to store this all, you got this peg that'll go into. They like it plugged onto the left side, so you plug it in there. Then you'll take the tail, make sure it is the one peg system, so they'll plug in, and then you can fold it down. Take the head, make sure it is the one peg system, so I flip the other one, and it'll plug in there. For this one, you can plug it into his hand if you want to as like a weird weapon or a weird looking shield, but the instructions want you plugging it onto his back. And there you go. There you have Abyss Reign all kitted out. And the back does make him a little bit back heavy. Would have been nice to see maybe some little flip out heels or some extra supports. But, oh well. But as far as articulation goes, I've gone over it like 5,000 times. Nothing at the head. You go the full 360 at the arms. They go out that far. Bicep. You get the elbow bend. You get waist rotation, legs move forward. This one can't really get back unless you work around the shield. Full splits. Thigh rotation. You get 180 at this joint, but if you want to, do something else, you could. You also get the double hinges right here. And the feet can move up and down. So, yeah, the articulation hasn't changed any throughout these figures, other than maybe like this joint right here, depending on if it's a two-legged or one-legged, so four or one-legged, two-legged. Golly, numbers, gotta love them. But anyways, for a real quick size comparison, let me just raise up a little bit. Here we have G2 Sideswipe, so you can see they're about mini-bot sized. And set him back there. Here we have Captain Volca. Leafback, staying up. Thunderbeak. It's hard to deal with all these because they're the same size. Yeah. I don't know how to say her name anymore. And Megatron. And this looks like a Power Rangers setup. Yeah, you got all your you got the basic themes for Power Rangers. So yeah, so get that off to the side. Get these two off to the side. I got too much stuff on my desk. Okay, they fell over. I don't care. And leaf back. Oh, okay. So overall, I've been really enjoying this line. It's a fantastic line, in my opinion. I really hope they bring it over to America. Come on, Evan, I know you can do it. But anyways, let's get down to transformation of Abyssrain. So first things first, you basically just want to strip him down of all his parts, including this piece. And let's get started. So first things first, flip back the head, fold it in, and flip it back up. Take the shoulders, rotate them 90 degrees back, and they will plug together once you fold them up. Rotate the dinosaur paws, feet, no, so the toes are facing the front. Rotate the waist 180. Then go ahead and plug all that together. And you might have to twist the thighs a little bit. All right. Next, flip up the feet. Then on this double hinge, you want to fold it around, which on this copy is a little bit tighter than even on Leafback or even Hydrophant. So get this folded back. I think that is about as good as we're going to get. Then you just want to bring it down and start attaching the pieces. So I'm going to lower back down a little bit. So make sure that the dual peg system is facing up. So plug that in right there. Take this energy piece, flip it however you want it. Take the back of it, and it will plug into the front two right here via those. So get that plugged in, and finally plug in the tail. So there we go. There we have the Stegosaurus all put together, and it looks pretty decent. That's about as decent as this line could look, because you got that little bit of air gap, which is not very pretty, but it is what it is for this line. So, but let's take a quick look at the face sculpt once more. So focus, come on, thank you. Get some nice mold details all throughout. Looks really, really good. If I could get some panel lining in there, I think it could look even better. So yeah, looks decent. Now, as far as articulation, the head cannot move. The arms bend 90 degrees both ways. You get bicep rotation, and since the tail is plugged into the hips, you get maybe the backwards, and that is it. But you also get a knee bend, and the tail can move up and down. That is pretty much it. Granted, you also do get a waist rotation if that serves a purpose. So, I don't know. Personally, they're just going to stand there if they're going to be in this form, honestly. They're not the superposable things or anything of the sort. So, but anyways, for a real quick size comparison, here we have a G2 Sideswipe, so you can see that, yeah, it's a pretty decent sized little Stegosaurus mode. So there's that, setting you right there. Here we have Captain Volca. Please stand, Captain. Thank you. Here we have Satuan or Spirituan or whatever. Thunderbeak and Leafback as far as the Dino Tribe. And here we have a tank because why not? And the team is shaped up pretty nicely. So, yeah. I gotta say, out of the Dino Tribe, Leafback is still my favorite. I just love Triceratopses. But as far as a second one, I don't know. It's kind of tied between Abyssrain and Spirituan. Both of them just really good. So, but there's that. Overall, I've been really, really enjoying this line. It's rare that I go literally full in on a line. I do not have Shadow Megatron or Nemesis Convoy yet. It's only a matter of time. I'm trying to save those for Christmas because, it's right around the corner. You blink and it'll be Christmas time, As is, Walmart's already getting out Halloween stuff. Yay, and we're barely into August. Whatever. So, anyways, enough about that. As you all know, with Wild King, these guys can form a shin or an arm. So let's get down to transformation. So it's the same basic transformation. So we're going to go into, let's just go into the yes mode. So first things first, you want to straighten out the legs, rotate the waist 180, then straighten it out right here as well. So get this straightened out. Next, I always flip his feet up, get that straightened out. Then you want to flip it back at this joint right here. So flip this back, and there is a tab right there that goes into a notch in the heel. So get that lined up. Make sure that is all perfectly straight. And since this one, the arms can bend down to kind of, mitigate this shelf space, there is your basic of what is going to be the shin or arm. Now, the interesting thing about the instructions for arm mode is this is it. This is all that they tell you to do. Obviously not this step, but they don't tell you to attach any of these pieces other than this goes on Megatron's shoulder, and that's just odd because literally all the other ones, except for maybe Thunderbeak, just because Thunderbeak's different, they tell you to attach the dinosaur head to the fist like this. And then the tail goes on the shoulder, and then you have like Spiritomon and this guy. You're left with this piece, and also I guess Thunderbeak if you don't have, total of 5 dinosaurs. You're left with these pieces left over. And that is just odd. So I don't know. I don't know if that was a mistake or whatever have you, but there's basically the arm mode, the correct, incorrect way, however you want to look at it. For shin mode, you just plug it onto the chest. You can plug it in there if you like, or you can plug it in right here. Since he is going to be a leg for my configuration, this is how I'm going to have him. So, and then this would obviously attach to Megatron's shoulder. For the combination, just plug this into these 2 holes right here. It would have been nice to see this along with Spiritomon's spine actually go somewhere besides, hey, look, we, just plug it on a random spot. That kind of sucks, but oh well, what can you do other than just what I did? So, but if you give me just 1 minute to get all the other ones into their configuration along with Megatron and all that fun stuff, so I'll be right back. Alright, so now that we have, or at least I have everyone transformed, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Megatron's kind of very skinny foot and attach Abyss Rain to it. And we're going to go ahead and bring in Megatron himself, at least of what we can get so far. And going to go ahead, and I know he's going to be a little bit off camera for a little bit, so I'm going to attach this to the knee joint right up here. I know I'm kind of at the very top of the frame, but give me 1 second. Get everything adjusted. Okay. And raising on up. Get your arm back down. Take the tail. You kind of want to go ahead and just bring these double prongs down, a little bit, about 90 degrees. Plug that in right up there. Oops. You're plugging it in right up here. Next, you're bringing in this piece, and plugging on Abyss Rain's water. And now we have the full, completed look of this, and this looks wonderful. But how does it look on Megatron? Well, let's see. Come on. Give it a nice squeeze. And there we go. There we have Ultimate Megatron fully combined up and just looking imposing, like, sheesh. So good looking. I wish these wings were just a little bit bigger, but oh well. And you can see I just stuck his spine right back here. Granted, I think you could just probably plug them in somewhere right here. I don't think Abyss Reigns would fit, but well, looks really, really good. And honestly, he ain't going anywhere. So now, articulation wise, you do have to work around the wings, but they do move back. You still get the full 360 at the arms, get the full out, get the bicep rotation. Nothing at the elbow, technically speaking. You can rotate their waists and do the elbow that way. You still get the full 90, and there was never anything at the feet. So yeah, this looks really, really good. Like here we have G2 sideswipe, and yeah, towers over him. And here we have Optimus as he stands right now. Oops, sorry, sideswipe. Not nearly as imposing yet as Megatron's. Cannot wait for Sky Report to give him this look as well. And to give you all like an actual general size, here we have 86 Grimlock. Get these out something like this. So you can see that they are pretty much leader class sized. And yeah, overall, this line, again, I cannot reiterate, is fantastic. So, come on, Optimus. There we go. Yeah, this line is fantastic. If I had one complaint, I don't care for Megatron's stupid little horns. Granted, it probably helps if they weren't black. Maybe if I were to swap Shadow Megatrons with this, I don't know. But yeah, this looks so good. Could it be better? Absolutely. The individual figures could be, a smidge better, but I'm not going to complain. They're definitely aimed more towards the Japanese kids and everything versus, grown adult. I say Japanese kid. The kids in general. But yeah, if you're going to get this line for your young kids or your nieces or nephews who are into Transformers or just love dinosaurs, then this line is definitely for you. It's going to cost you a good chunk of change to get these. I personally I got them from like 3 different places. Amazon Japan is a good place. Suguraya, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, especially when they offer free shipping. Any other promos I got is just a bonus. And then HobbyLink Japan, those are the 3 places I suggest looking for these. Honestly, good luck, because I have seen most of them being sold out. So, but you might be able to piece together, bits and bobs from, those 3 different websites. And maybe there's another website that, y'all know about that I don't and have used. I know there's AmiAmi and all that, but I've not used AmiAmi. Nothing against it. I just haven't used it. So those are just the 3 websites that I've used personally. So, but enough rambling. Definitely get in on this set. Fantastic. I would love for them to do a box set of these 5 together. Honestly, I would love to take this whole dinosaur tribe and just repaint them into G15 Dinobots. Him would be scoring, obviously. That would be awesome. So, but enough rambling. I think that is about it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more video reviews.